Apparently, the Star Wars writer confirmed Lando's sexual fluidity in Solo, a Star Wars story. Let's check that out, shall we? Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm here to talk about a article that I found on HuffPost. It's actually everywhere. This was posted like an hour ago. This article specifically was written by Bill Bradley. And the article is titled, Star Wars Writer Confirms Lando's Sexual Fluidity in Solo. This has been a heated argument for a while, but this is the first time that I'm addressing this because I was a little like I didn't know what to make up when I was reading this article. So the article is saying a Solo writer opened up about Lando Calrissian's sexuality and his desire for a more explicitly LGBT character. So right off the bat, before I even start reading the article, I would like to say like this, like Disney, Lucasfilm, they're not being very smart on their decisions. And this has nothing to do with bringing an LGBT character or bringing more women. It's not about that, okay? It's mostly about messing with established characters, in order to preach their own agenda, okay? Like, I have no problem with them bringing an LGBT character, but in my opinion, they should introduce this character as a new, fresh character, okay? Establish a character that way. But if you're actually doing that with a character that, as well, I don't know, what do you think? But when I first saw Lando Calrissian, I never interpret him as a gender fluid character, He seemed very smooth toward Leia. In fact, I really love that scene where he's like being all smooth, and then Han Solo intervenes and grabs Leia's hand and pretty much is saying, just get away from my woman. And I really did not get that vibe, that he's a gender fluid character. And now, I haven't seen Solo yet. There will be a screening on Tuesday, press screening over here that I'm trying to get into, but I think I'm late for the party. But anyways, if not, I still next week by Thursday perhaps, or for Friday, I can get the review out there. So now I'm even more interested to see what are they doing and if they really portray this character in the movie as a gender fluid. But anyways, let's get into this article and see exactly what are they talking about here. So it begins like this. Since the beginning of Star Wars saga, we've wondered whether LGBT characters exist in George Lucas' galaxy far, far away. Up until 2018, there had been little to no queer representation in his decade-old franchise. And then Solo, a Star Wars, happened. The film centers on a young Han Solo, Alden Ehrenreich. I still need to learn how to pronounce his last name. And his associate Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian, playing by Donald Glover. Solo gives fans the Millennium Falcon backstory they have been pinning for, with planned new defining characters details. One of the more notable ones, Lando, appears to be pansexual. Lando's sexual preferences, possibly including men, women, and droids. Androids. Are you kidding me? For crying out, this is just too weird, okay? Are the subject of more than a few lines of dialogue in Solo. For example, the banter between Lando and Han Solo has been interpreted as flirting by some critics. Flirting? That's a dude talking to a dude, okay? I don't think that's flirting at all. I mean, maybe in this movie, I have to watch it because obviously this is mostly talking about this specific movie, but not referring to the old ones. I don't know. So obviously I have to watch the movie to find out if that's really there. But by the trailer, I believe that I interpret this more like he's just being like, kind of being sarcastic the way that Lando is, But some critics thought that he was flirting with Han, and who have seen the film before its May 25th release. Okay, whatever. Even Lando's droid L3, I think I'm gonna hate this droid, I already think she's annoying. She, right? Because now the droids apparently have gender. But I don't know. I might change. I don't know. It might surprise me. Makes a joke about Calrissian's teasing dynamic with Han in the film. Oh, jeez. See, what do you guys think about this? I really think this is why Disney, not Disney, it's Lucasfilm, okay? Obviously, Disney is the corporation, but this is under Lucasfilm. Guys, this is not the way to go about it, okay? I think it's not that people are not going to accept LGBT characters. It's not about that, okay? It's really about you messing with characters that are already established, okay? You can't just go and change the backstory of a character because of this. You want to be more inclusive. This is just so wrong, it is just so wrong. I completely disagree with it, I have no problem them bringing in an LGBT character, but why not introduce a new character, okay? Let's continue reading here. Lando might have romantic feelings for his droid too. Oh, come on! For the record, L3 would not reciprocate those hypothetical feelings, but as she tells Kira, it would work, physically speaking. What? Oh my gosh. This is too weird, Call me old-fashioned, but now he has feelings for his... I know emotional feelings as attachment to something that you really like, but the way that they're implying here is romantic feelings. That's just crazy, okay? This is just crazy. Let's continue. Of course, these fanatic interpretations are based on subtext. Okay, so it is subtext. It's not really explicit. Lando, Billy D. Williams in episode 5 and 6, has been loaded with sex appeal ever since he brazenly told Leia she looked absolutely beautiful in The Empire Strikes Back. But there's never been an explicit classification of his sexuality in the movies. So, given the opportunity to speak with father and son and Solo, co-writers Lawrence and Jonathan Kasdan, I asked them about Lando's possible sexual fluidity. Is he pansexual? I would say yes, Jonathan Kasdan emphatically said. So Jonathan is Lawrence's son, so it's not Lawrence that said that. Lawrence is the original writers. He wrote The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, I believe, and now Solo. So this is the son. The son said, I would say yes. Okay. I beg to differ, okay? I did not get that vibe at all. Let's continue. And then he says, this is the son, okay? There's a fluidity to Donald and Billy D's portrayal of Lando's sexuality. I don't agree. I'm sorry. I did not see that in those movies. Kasdan continue. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten a more explicitly LGBT character into this movie. I think it's time certainly for that. And I love the fluidity, sort of a spectrum of sexuality that Donald appeals to and that droids are a part of. Oh, this is just weird, okay? Jonathan, I'm sorry. I just think that's weird. I think just don't do it, okay? Don't do it. You want an LGBT character, that's fine. It's the same with bringing more women, that's fine. Just give us good characters, okay? And introduce new characters. Don't do it with characters that are already well established. You know, by the time where The Last Jedi came out, and I've just seen so many rant reviews, and I was watching over and over many people on YouTube, like talking about their feelings. And one fan in particular, I don't really remember exactly his words, but he was a gay. He said that I'm gay, and I don't need a gay character to feel myself represented in Star Wars world. And I thought that was very, very interesting. And I believe what he mentioned it's because Star Wars is about a human story. And I absolutely agree, because that's how all of us, identified with Star Wars to begin, is because of this family struggle, because of these human stories. And I think Lucasfilm is really missing the point. For instance, I'm a woman and I loved Luke Skywalker. He was my child hero because of his struggles and the way that he dealt with situations and the way that he overcame situations. So he was a guy for me to look up to. It's about this human story. It's not, it's kind of, it's like they're doing this on purpose, okay? And then when they create this kind of controversy, they also bash the fans because they're not accepting this. It's not because the fans are going to be mad with the whole LGBT. That's not about that. But it's about you trying to change a character that was already pre-established because you want to preach your agenda. That's just wrong, okay? Introduces a new, you want to do that, that's fine, but why not introduce this as a new character? This kind of makes me mad, man. It makes me lose. This is just, I don't know if I laugh or if I cry about this. It's yeah. Let's continue. What else did they say here? So okay, so the son is the one that is mostly talking about the LGBT character, but then the father said this, because the article continues. His father was more cryptic about the intention. So the father was not really explicit on his idea about that, okay? So when I mentioned the moment in the movie where L3 jokes about Lando's flirty attitude toward Han, I'm calling him Han because he's definitely not Han, toward Han, Lawrence Kasdan said, that is her personality. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. So he's just being very neutral there, okay? So let's just continue. Lawrence Kasdan's ambiguity is more reflected of the broader Star Wars universe, a realm filled with every type of alien being imaginable. Yet the rarest of all its life forms seem to be LGBT characters. For the most part, these character storylines have happened only off screen. Take Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo in Star Wars The Last Jedi, who was revealed to be queer in the tie-in novel Leia, Princess of Alderaan. I didn't even know that, because I have no interest in reading anything about The Last Jedi, to be honest. During a conversation between Amelin and Leia. And then there's, it says the conversation in there. I'm going to post the article below so you guys can read it. I just don't want to make this video super, super long. But anyways, and then the article also touches on the whole thing, people shipping Paul and Finn. This is kind of a teenager thing. When I was a teenager, I used to ship characters, or I was pretend I was dating this certain character. But this to me is a teenager thing. Grown people doing this is just people have a problem, I guess. One thing is to root for characters to be together, but I don't know. Did you guys get a vibe that Paul and Finn had a thing? I just thought it was a dude and dude relationship, I actually thought that Finn was more interested in Rey, so I don't see any of that in there. Perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know. Now, the way that they are doing this stuff, right? It's just I don't know. Sometimes I feel that they're trying to create all these kind of controversies on purpose, or they're not really thinking these things through. For instance, let's think about, when I was reading this, I thought about this. Remember the original Ghostbusters, right? If you remember the movie, the original villain is a guy, not a guy, it's a gender fluid being called Gozer. Is it Gozer? Gozer, I believe. And that's a character that is already introduced as gender fluid. Now, why isn't there controversy about that? Because the character was introduced that way. So that way you accept and you already know about it. Okay, so he's a gender fluid character and there was a problem. No problem there, okay? And then why can they not like do the same thing with Star Wars? You know, like you can't, like one thing is you introducing as a character that is already established to be that way. The other thing is for you to mess with characters that are already pre-established, and that's, I think, it's what is wrong. They just don't, you know, don't do this. Lucasfilm, don't do this. This is the wrong way to go about it, you know. But I don't know. I'm really curious to see what I'm going to think about the film, you know. If you guys have been seeing the early reviews that came out from critics, obviously I don't care about the critics review because, you know, they thought the Last Jedi was incredible and I didn't like it. So I'm interested to see what the fans are going to think about the film, you know. But anyways, the early reviews, they are not so great. It was started off at 75 and now it's down to 70 or even lower. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really keeping track. Okay, so let's just continue on this article here. Overall, the solo writers said that they were conscious of representation when shaping the movie. Jonathan Kasdan pointed out a moment early in the film in which they deliberately chose to make the audience question the norms of attraction in our world. Oh, okay. Jonathan Kasdan, okay. There's a line there. John Favreau characters, Rio, there's a line there where he's asking Han about the girl that he left behind, and he says, does she have big teeth? Implying that such a feature would be appealing. It's a joke in the movie, but we did want to hit on this idea that people's ideas of what they're attracted to all over the galaxy are very, very different and not exactly as set as ours are, he said. With so many new Star Wars projects on the way in the coming years, there's hope for a more obvious LGBT character in the future. Until then, at least we have Lando. Why am I pronouncing everything wrong? Anyways, Glover and Williams weren't available to comment, but Calrissian says in Holo, everything you've heard about me is true. So the article ends with that meme. So I don't know, guys. I really want to hear your opinions about this. You know, this is why these new directions, it's really creating so many controversies. You know, that's a lot of people want to boycott the film, and because this is what is the problem, you know, like they want to do new and innovating things, and I'm not against that, but I am against sacrificing the story to bring a certain agenda. Okay, so apparently by my idea, when I read this, it seems that the article, like the title, it's a little bit misleading because it doesn't seem like he confirms. He just say yes. I would say yes, but it's not explicit in the movie, apparently. So I think that they threw the idea out there, but they didn't really specify that Lando is a gender fluid character. Anyways, guys, let me know what is your opinion on this Lando's sexual fluidity. I would love to hear what you think about it. Did you get the vibe that Lando was sexually fluid in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? And how about in the new Solo trailer? Did you think that he was flirting with Han? I thought that it was a dude relationship, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your thumbs up, comment below, subscribe for more, and stay tuned because later tonight I'm gonna go watch Deadpool and I'm going to do my review and upload it hopefully later tonight. But let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.